Welcome everybody to the Think Different podcast, and it's time for the only Apple podcast with two former Apple retail employees with 20 years of combined experience. I am Will TLD, the former Apple specialist creative, and of course, everyone's favorite genius. But along with me every week is, of course, the former Apple creative, the former retired book publisher, the soccer mom recorder, the Jurassic Park owner, the black coffee drinker, juror number 12, retirement home president, the keto trout drummer himself, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Frank Funk's here.
Hey, how we going? How's things doing?
I am wonderful. Keto, here we go, down 7 pounds since January 2nd.
There you go, man.
Hey,
very good.
I know. See, I'm sticking to the plan. And you know why? Because I'm drinking that. Of course, I'm drinking that Zevia. Not sponsored, of course. But my son took a picture with the Zevia that I do plan on putting on our social media so that we can get the love from the world. But thank you very much for joining us every single week. I wanted to give you an update because, you know, I told you I wasn't really sure about the iPhone 13, especially the camera. Well, I got to go out into the field and use the camera for the iPhone during a wedding. And I have to say, number one, you can tell how the HDR content makes it look so much better on video right away. That is not on the 11, but having the HDR video feature is super nice. So it looks great. I will say that, you know, the brightness is absolutely there. Now, cinematic mode, normally they were showcasing it where you can focus on one object and go to the other. I did that without even changing the focus. I wanted to just see what it looked like if I just focused on one person and then just moved the camera around. It looks good. So I'm very impressed with the cinematic mode, I'll be honest.
Oh, there you go,
because
man.
It looks like a DSLR is in the background. It really looks like a DSLR. Like, it really has that look to it. Now, there are other shots. There were like one shot where I did a bunch of bridesmaids and the background's just like a background's further back. It looks great. I did a shot where I was trying to focus on the flowers and then focus on them. But you could see there's like a little bit of cutoff on the head. You know, it kind of could tell. You know, so just by looking at the footage right now in front of me, you know, you could see it a tiny bit, but it's not a lot. So I have to say, the cinematic mode is pretty good.
So maybe where you're talking about right now, that may just be something that you need to practice a little bit more to get it to hone in.
I agree with you, and I need to know the right situations to use it, but I am impressed with it. And I think it looks great. There is still in dark. It's not great. The iPhone still needs to work in the very low light, but it's getting there. Yeah. It's getting there. But this ain't the phone that I think is like turned the corner. Let's just say that. But it looks great during the day. I mean, people, the feedback I got was incredible. People had no idea I shot that with an iPhone.
Wow, that's very good then. So Here you go. Opens up a whole new aspect for your business, right?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm getting inquiries every day. By the way, if you're getting married and you live in New Jersey, wvafidisproductions.com or look up WV Productions. I don't advertise that. It's a separate business.
Well, you're also a sponsor of Think Different Podcast.
I am. You know what? I haven't even thrown that in there at all. That this whole episode, every single week, has been sponsored by WV Productions because I edit it too. So, yeah, we'll go with that. And Frank also has a new video on our YouTube channel. Check out our YouTube. He does more about numbers, explaining categories, pop-up menus. So check that out, formatting. Please go and check out our latest video on our YouTube. And it's already gotten 100% feedback because people love when Frank talks to them.
Well,
he's talking that dirty Apple to them.
Yeah. Well, there are more, just to let everybody know, there's more in the pipeline. So I'm working on a couple of other things. I'm trying to touch on all of the iWork suite. Well, you're doing the Pages thing. I was doing the numbers, and I'm going to do something for Keynote so that we'll have all three of those three programs covered.
Yes. Now, speaking of covered, We have to talk about 2022, baby.
Yeah.
Not a good transition at all, but hey, we're going to talk about it.
It's a new year.
There's not much going on in the tech world right now. We had CES, which was whatever, but as far as like Apple news, it's all about trying to figure out what's going to happen this year. And that's what this episode is all about. Talk about 2022, what we think is going to come out, what we're hoping for to come out. So we're going to start off right away with what people think is going to be happening in the first half of this year. So March, April is when they do the first event. And they're talking about the rumored new iPhone SE.
Yeah.
Is going to come out with 5G capabilities, but still with the same look. A new iPad Air, which is supposed to have a better screen on it, the 5G capability, the ultra-wide camera, which was not on the original MacBook Air now. They're talking about a new iMac, which I know you're excited about.
Oh, I am.
Yep. New iMac. Also, the rumor of a new MacBook Air and a new Mac Mini possibly coming out. And of course, the iPad Pro. So, first off, SE, still one of the best products to buy, in my opinion, especially if you're a newbie to the Apple world.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, if you're looking for something that's moderately priced and would give you a lot of capabilities and a lot of beginning insight into the Apple infrastructure, yeah, certainly that's a good stepping stone. Although it doesn't do a lot of the things that the Pro and the Pro Max does, but
but really, what does it not do?
Well,
that's the problem. Is it just that there's better features? The features that are in all these phones, they're just better in the other ones?
Yes.
But what is it really missing?
Well, you don't have you don't have the high-end camera features.
Okay,
right?
but you still have a camera in it.
Right. Yes.
Well, it's really
again, like you said, if you're looking for something that's moderately priced,
like wireless charging, I don't think is in it. So that's an example. Like, who cares about that? So yeah, iPhone SE is expected to come out. Again, it's not the product for us, but for somebody who has an iPad. Like, let's say who has an iPad now. Maybe the iPad was like their first product, and they want to get into the ecosystem of a phone. Mm-hmm. SE is perfect. That's what I did. My mother-in-law, she went from iPad to iPhone. So now the iPad Air, I do like the iPad Air. I think it's overpriced. I think it's a little too high still at $599. Mm-hmm. I think that needs to be dramatically discounted down to $499 for me to want to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, what you have a Pro, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Again, these products that we're talking about, I'll call them entry level products. By no means are they cheap, but they are, like you said, they are products that people that want to think that maybe they want to get into the Apple infrastructure, something that they can do relatively affordable.
Okay.
So
let's just do this. Frank, what product, if Apple released a product in 2022, what would you buy?
Well, what would I buy right now? You mean something that I don't have?
Yeah. So let's say that the rumors that are going to be happening this year, what do you think is something that you think is coming out that you're going to buy?
Well, the dilemma I'm in, I want to see if and when they come out with the 27-inch iMac. And, of course, its price point and what features does it have that the MacBook Pro doesn't have? Mm-hmm. And then I have to make a decision. Do I want to go with the portability or do I want to stay satisfied with the desktop? Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at.
Okay. Is there, what about any reason to upgrade your Apple Watch?
No, I'll be waiting until, I guess it's the Series 8.
Okay.
I want to see what features it has. I've been talking to a lot of people, and they like the fact that with the Apple Watch with that they can tie into their cellular plan. And if they're hiking or canoeing or doing those kinds of skiing, they don't have to have their phone with them in case something happens. You've seen the commercial that they have now.
It's amazing, isn't it? Isn't those commercials amazing?
Yeah. And they like that.
I bet you on the Super Bowl, they're going to have a new one. I guarantee you Apple will do that.
Yeah.
Of something like that.
Well, so, and then of course, I'm definitely gearing up for the iPhone 14 because I will, I have the 12, so I will definitely go with the 14. And what they're talking about with the 14 is that the notch is going to go away, and it's going to be a keyhole punch. It's a
punch.
Yeah,
they got two little punches, and if you turn it to the side, it's going to look like an eye.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I think they should make it, instead of round, I think they should make it look like the Apple logo.
Okay. I think that's a little cheesy.
Do you?
But yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
I would like the Apple logo on the back to glow. That would be kind of...
yes, it would.
Yeah, that'd be kind of nice to have that kind of feature back. But I understand why they don't do it.
Yeah. Well, they could put a separate battery in there.
Sure. I mean, honestly, they talked about... They were talking about making the Apple logo bigger, and that would be like your wireless charging port, almost. Like the wireless part.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, other than the cutout, I mean, obviously, it's going to be a faster chip. It's going to be a faster modem. It's going to be a better camera. I'm hoping that they do something kind of unique with that phone. I don't know what they could do, but I could tell you, I don't know if that's going to be like the phone that's going to,
well,
from what we know right now.
Yeah, but I mean, based on the feedback that they're getting with the cinematic mode and all of the positive features with the camera, I kind of agreed to something you said the last time, and that is that I think you may find that they're going to break out somehow, and so you can get to different features faster.
Well, that ties to software.
Yeah,
they like even an example, like right now, like if you go in your notification, like if you want to change your notifications, you have to slide down to the app to turn. Like, why is there no search in there? Like just to look, like do a search right at the top of where all the it's just like, why do I have to go all the way down? Remember I told you that my biggest disappointment from last episode was they are not improving the software. Again, to go in this. Again, I'm going to restate it every time. From this camera, to go from pano all the way over to time lapse, I have to swipe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times to get to.
Did they do away with the 3D touch on the camera in the front?
Yeah, 3D touch has been gone for a while.
Yeah, I think they should bring that back.
Well, now they do haptic feedback, so now they are. Here's what annoys me though. The feature of haptic touch is inside the Apple Watch. They disabled it when they made the change to the new that was 2 years ago, because they abandoned 3D touch, which I thought for the watch was perfect. The watch was more so better with that, because, like, for example, if I wanted to end a map, all I had to do was press down, and the end button was there.
Right.
Now, I have to, swipe to end it. It's not as convenient.
Well,
so now they went with haptic feedback just from the vibration of your screen. And they achieved the same objective. That's all. But I think the watch was just better with it.
Well, on the phone, I liked the 3D touch. I mean, it's something that...
It took a while to adapt. But honestly, Apple figured out a solution anyway. Just by putting your finger or holding it down, then the vibration, you feel the vibration come through.
Right.
3D touch might have been faster in response, though. That's probably the only thing I would say was different. But they've already achieved the same thing.
Yeah. So,
So is there anything else that you are hoping that they develop in 2022 that's like a rumored...
well, from a curiosity standpoint, the glasses,
Yeah, of course.
you know,
Everybody wants to know about that AV headset.
yeah.
And did you hear the rumor what that price point about that's going to be?
No.
$3,000.
Well, then I'm totally not interested. You know, that's
Is that crazy?
I. You know, if that comes to fruition and it is 3,000, I don't understand because
I will never understand that. Not to mention, it's like the first one.
They have the headphones that are overpriced. They had the home pods, which I loved, and they got rid of them because they said they were overpriced. So now you got to come out with
a product that no one's going to buy. Yeah,
well, again, I'm not in the marketing department, so
no. That's a hard one to sell, isn't it? By the way, they believe that the headset could be announced in 2022, but will not come out until 2023.
No, along with the car. Maybe you get one if you buy the car. God,
they should just abandon that damn car. You know, how stupid is that? Like, who the hell would buy an Apple car?
I don't know.
You know,
we'll have to see.
Oh no, get that crap out of here. So, what I'm going to buy this year, one thing I want to buy a new iPad because the iPad I have now is definitely an older model. It's probably like 3 or 4 years old. I think it's time for a new one. Give the old one to my son because he's going to need an iPad to play with.
Son's only 2.
He likes to watch YouTube on it. And he learns some stuff. You know. So, okay. but I really want to get an iPad Pro or my iPad Air. The Pro, though, man, I still think that Pro, I still don't get it. I don't know why. I think it's like you have all this power and you have this size, but you can't do everything you want to do with it.
Well,
why?
Well, I think your dilemma is that it doesn't have the Pro apps to go along.
Of course it doesn't.
With all the power that's in it, and there's no reason that shouldn't have the Pro apps.
Yeah, you got that right.
So I think that's your dilemma. Not that the product isn't good in and of itself, but the fact that
I can't justify paying $1,000 for an iPad that I could just going on the web. You know,
right?
It's like what am I buying that for? You know, I like the better screen. I like that. I like center stage. That'd be kind of cool for me to do a pot. Like I could USB-C this into the iPad. I could do the iPad, recording through here.
Right.
You know, I mean that'd be cool. I mean, those are the things I want to do with it.
Yeah, and things with the pencil are nice.
If you're an artist,
if you're an artist, the Procreate is very nice. A lot of nice things. The quick notes, all of that stuff. But again, some of those things are also available in the lower models.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's why I like the iPad Air, but I wish it was $100 cheaper. That's if it was. I mean, I could get $100 cheaper. I have people that work at Apple.
You have people that know people.
I got people that know people, baby. You know what's going to suck? Eventually, that is going to go away at some point.
Yes,
so I'm going to have to befriend somebody at the Apple Store just to like me.
I have to go in and twist some arms, man.
Yeah.
I guess they like you better than they like me.
Oh yeah, I'm very. People love me. So
I don't know why.
I pay them off. That's why. Now, I'm definitely not buying a new computer this year because I just spent way too much money on the current one that I'm on right now. So, no plans for me to get an iMac. Maybe my wife could do an upgrade, but she doesn't use the computer as much as it is. She's mostly on her phone.
Yeah, see,
again, I see her buying a new phone this year, though. That I do see. I'm thinking that either she's going to buy the 12 before it gets thrown away, or she's going to get, when the 14 comes out, I think she's going to buy the 13.
I wanted to get a new MacBook Pro for my wife. We have an old Air, and she's like, the only thing I do on it is pay bills. I'm working with her to either do the stuff she's doing on the Air on her phone or on my iPad Pro, and if I can transition her to the iPad, then I won't necessarily use her Air at all, and I'll consider, trading it in or whatever, or giving it to my other grandson.
So the rumor is with this new MacBook Air they're coming out with is that it's going to have the mini LED display. MagSafe's going to come to it, which would be great. Obviously USB-C. I don't think it's going to have an SD card slot or an HDMI slot. It's going to have a solid M1 in there, maybe an M2, and I think that's going to come out at some point in the beginning of 2022.
Mm-hmm. They're talking about how it's going to have increased capacity. It's going to have the SSD in it, and I was talking to somebody recently, and they were considering, well, what size should I get, and that kind of thing. And I said, if you subscribe to iCloud and you use the iCloud drive,
it alleviates your storage.
Yeah, you don't need to go up to the terabyte, or
right.
You can keep it at somewhat to a minimum.
But you see, that's why I liked having a bigger size hard drive, though, because I can store so much more stuff on it now on my machine, like my photos, which has been great to have all my photos now back on my machine. Right. And I have a 2 terabyte drive that I'm sharing with my wife, and it's definitely over, it's full. It's not full, but it's up there.
It's close, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll have some sort of maybe they'll develop something for business classes,
like unlimited?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about unlimited, but
so
they may.
It's a good thing you said that because they are doing that.
Oh,
they
yeah.
Are, yes. So you must have missed out on that, but they have something new they called Apple Business Essentials, and what they are doing. It's a beta format, but it brings device management, support, and storage into one subscription for small businesses. So they're basically doing what Jamf does. And what they're doing is they're using iCloud accounts to do the storage. So it says there are 3 simple Apple Business plans. It enables our business to cover every employee and device in their organization. Plans can be customized to support each user with up to 3 devices and up to 2 terabytes of secure storage in iCloud, starting at $2.99 per month, with the optional AppleCare Plus for Business Essentials. So it's a free thing to sign up for that's going to be available in the spring of 2022.
It's $300 a month?
No, I didn't say that. I said it's $2.99, $2.99.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, for 2 terabytes?
Mm-hmm. Well, it says starting. Okay. Please keep in mind, up to 2 terabytes, starting at $2.99 per month.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, but even for 2 terabytes, even if it costs you $30.
Yeah. This to me is quite interesting. And
that would be 2 terabytes shared or 2 terabytes per
user?
Per user. Yeah.
I would say it's each user.
Okay. So that, like, I'm paying, I have the Apple One Premium plan, right? I have all those features with that. And I'm doing 2 terabytes shared between me and my wife. Now, and that's plenty right now. But I was paying for Apple Music for the family. I was paying for Apple Arcade separately. Mm-hmm. So when I added all those separate things together, and I wanted to go to the 2 terabyte anyway, so it was worth it.
Right. This is what that Apple. This is like way off topic what we're talking about, but the idea of that is that you don't have to buy a server, you don't have to do all that stuff.
Right.
Apple takes over all that.
Right.
And I think for a small business, like if I was starting a small business and I saw that, Apple's really got to promote it though. They really got to hammer that down.
Yes.
I would do that because that alleviates so much work that I have to do, and you're in charge of the devices, so you do all the work.
Yeah. Well, and that's the same thing that when Apple used to lease products to small businesses.
They do, but they have gone way back on it. Even when I tried to do it, like recently, they are Nah, they're going.
That was a shame because that was a great program.
It was a good program. I almost took advantage of it now. As far as like the rest of the products for this year, the only two things I mentioned, and I kind of went off of this last episode, was, again, we both agree that the HomePod was good, but it was there, but there's something missing. Like even the idea of being portable with that was not possible.
Mm-hmm.
So why not include an Apple TV and HomePod combo where the Apple TV and the HomePod have the same thing? So anything you play out of your speaker from the Apple TV comes through this nice speaker that they have as one box. I would be very curious how that would work. And the other item that I think they need to come out with, in a space that they are not anywhere in, is the digital camera space. Like, imagine Apple software in a nice body of a DSLR or mirrorless body of a camera. What they could probably do with that, and attaching whatever lenses you want to attach, and even Apple coming up with their own lens. I think they could do some killer business with it. As you can see, I'm filming stuff for social media, right? Yeah. These phones could do all that, but if you want something a little bit better, you have to get like a DSLR.
Yeah,
if Apple came out with like $1,000 camera, I think that would be a tremendous idea.
Yeah. Well, I the other thing is, we were talking when you mentioned that single package. I am interested to see what, if anything, will changes they'll do to the Apple TV.
Mm-hmm. What do they have to do? I mean, other than making it faster, what do they have to do to convince you?
Physical the device? Well, I have the devices. I'm just looking for something. I think the remote needs to be better.
I'd love the remote right now. I think it's so much better than the. Well, you still have the old one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's because you got to buy the new one.
Yeah.
It's so worth it to not deal with the hassle.
And I don't know why they don't buy a network, not a network, but some other content. There are so many places out there that were on the market, like a Sony or like Warner Cable and stuff like that.
They tried for their Apple TV Plus server. They tried to get studios to be exclusive to them, and they messed that up. I think Eddie Q was the one that was involved with that, and there was a whole thing that he went to Warner Bros. With this like attitude that you need to be on the Apple TV Plus platform. The rumor is now they're going to get football or baseball, like if you want to watch items on if you have a different team that doesn't live here and you want to watch them, this is not a bad idea to have them on Apple TV Plus.
Right.
That's definitely something they need to explore.
And I read a lot, like for entertainment. I would love to see them have a library similar to what they have for like Apple Music. Have an Apple library where you would subscribe each month, and then you could read whatever you want instead of buying it. As long as you subscribed, you could read whatever books you wanted.
That is something that I think they've explored. I think it takes a lot of. I think the plan would be too expensive, and then if you're going to get Apple One, that would have to all the new things they would have to add would have to be part of that bundle.
Yeah.
They did Podcast Plus now. They have that, but man, I don't see that catching on. Podcasts are already free.
Yeah.
It's like you're telling people to buy it to get exclusive ones, but they don't have like a Joe Rogan.
Right. Right.
They need a Joe Rogan to make that work. Or they need like a Howard Stern to make that work. Like someone who has an established program that everyone knows about.
Yeah. Well, Joe Rogan, how many millions of followers does he have? He's
Spotify paid him millions of dollars for his show just to be exclusively on Spotify.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So that's something they got. That's what they have to do is find that hit. Like if they became the new NFL Sunday Ticket instead of DirecTV, how cool would that be?
Well, you mentioned that. Now the direct TV portion of AT&T was for sale.
Yes.
Why don't they buy that?
What a struggle, the AT&T and DirecTV. They're a mess.
I know.
What a mess they are. And I just left their platform. Remember, I had them and I went to YouTube TV.
Yeah.
People they are in a lot of trouble, and they have to figure something out because they're not doing good. They redid their streaming like twice already, and I don't think it's going anywhere.
Well, I'm looking at that and saying, that's something that Apple could buy for a song.
Yeah.
And add it to the Apple TV.
Yeah. Apple TV Plus definitely needs, like, they already have Ted Lasso, which has been very helpful for them.
Right.
But they need something else. They need more than that.
Those other shows are good.
Yeah, that's what people say. People like the shows that they have, but it's not like
just need
Cobra
more of
Kai.
them.
It's not Cobra Kai. It's not Tiger King. It's not,
no.
They don't have that. They have it with Ted Lasso. But they also didn't expect Ted Lasso to take off the way it did. So that's the only one they got.
And then
and maybe the morning show, but again, they like it, but people aren't like buying $5 a month to have it.
Well, because there's the seasons. There's too much time between the seasons. In other words, if you're buying it just for the morning show, when that season is over, then now you have to wait 4 or 5 months for another one to come out. In the meantime, what's there for you to watch? For me now, for example, like Truth Be Told, I like that show. It's a very good show. But again, it's the same kind of thing. Once you're done watching that, then there's nothing new on. Whereas if they got a link into like BBC, because I like to watch the British stuff, right? They got a link into that. Now you can look at all that. I'm also watching 1883. It's the beginning of the Yellowstone saga. Have you watched Yellowstone?
No, I heard it's Paramount. Good though. A lot of people like it though.
Well, 1883 is kind of the prequel to the current thing, and that's interesting. I just think they need different kind of content out there that you can continually watch something without saying, "Oh, I've watched that. So there's nothing else. I have to wait until the new season." So you don't bother going into your Apple TV because there's nothing new there yet. So,
well, I mean, is there anything else for 2022 you think Apple needs to improve on? Anything you could think of that would really? I mean, I don't think. I mean, other than something they could do more with the services, which.
Well, I mean, there's always things that they can improve on. One of the things that I would like to see them do, I would like to see them do more advertising for the services that they offer. Like you said, the business stuff. I didn't know about that. To actually,
well, that's a niche market though. Don't think that's.
Yeah, but even like the iWorks, why don't they advertise?
Yeah, I don't know why they don't.
What those 3 programs can do.
I know. They barely talk about them in the keynotes or anything, yeah.
But they always talk about Microsoft being available on the latest software.
But that's why I think software has to be a key point this year. They have to focus on software. Remember back in the day when they had iLife and iWork? These were the things that made the Apple. Yep. You used to have to pay for iWork. Yes. Because, which Apple was smart not to do anymore. They don't, now they include it. You have to go buy Office for $150 a year. It's like ridiculous. So, to me this year, they've got a good amount of hardware right now. Let's focus on the software. Let's make the software better. Let's forget about the headset. Forget about the stupid Apple car. Let's focus on the products that we have in our hands and make them better.
Yeah. Really refine them.
Right.
I think the maps have come a long way.
Oh my God, that is such a long way compared to what it used to be. In fact, I wouldn't have any reason to use another map app anymore.
Right.
It's better than every thing out there. And now it even includes like the reporting of like the only thing that you need to do is while you're driving, the only time you can report something is if you're actually GPSing. I would like it if you were able to report something while you're not GPSing. What if you're going to work every day? It's the same pattern, but why don't you have the option to like what Waze does? I haven't used Waze in years.
Right.
So, but, again, software. Improve the software in 2020.
Yes.
Damn it.
Yeah. And when you say improvement, I mean, it doesn't have to be leaps and bounds, but like really refine it, refocus on the functionality of the software in the infrastructure within the Apple world.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week here for what we hope to see in 2022. We thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you check out all of our YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook channels. Definitely our YouTube, where we post a lot of great content. That's the word. And Frank's rocking his blue hat, and of course we have to put an emoji on our thumbnail when we release this. But thank you guys very much for joining us for another episode of the Think Different podcast. We will see you guys in every other week, and I love every single one of you.
Take care, guys.